Hey Josué, aquí estamos en vivo, probando.
Hey, okay. Sorry, I was on mute the whole time. Sorry. Hello, I am Josue Rojas, Executive Director of Acción Latina, a San Francisco-based nonprofit organization dedicated to media, arts, and culture, and it is situated in San Francisco's Mission District, also known as the Calle 24 Latino Cultural District. More importantly, Acción Latina is a proud publisher of the award-winning bilingual newspaper El Tecolote, now celebrating its 50th year. Acción Latina has always found innovative ways to support making media and making memory via El Tecolote newspaper. And so we welcome you all to Acción Latina's longstanding tradition of music and resistance via the Encuentro del Canto Popular. So, bienvenidos a nuestro concierto anual, El Encuentro del Canto Popular, now in its 39th year. And this is our very first virtual celebration of Encuentro, and I'm going to hand it over to Fatima Ramirez.
Thank you, Josué. I'm Fatima Ramirez. I'm the Deputy Director of Acción Latina. And first of all, I would like to recognize that we are on unceded ancestral homeland of the Ramaytush Ohlone peoples, who are the original inhabitants of the San Francisco Peninsula. And again, just want to echo you, Josué. We're excited that you all tuned in. We're going to have a fun night. And however it is you're celebrating at home with us this evening, make sure to get yourself all set up nice and cómodos. There will be moments of dance, there will be moments of reflection and reminiscing, nostalgia. We're hoping for all of that tonight. But first, Josué, for those who don't know, can you just help to situate us? What's the history of Encuentro again? Because we get a lot of questions about that sometimes.
That's true. And, you don't have 39 years of a long-standing tradition without, a lot of history. And of course, it takes the blood, sweat, and tears of a lot of different people holding the torch at a lot of different times. So Encuentro del Canto Popular is based on the sounds of Nueva Canción, and it always has been. So it has adapted to the ebbs and flows of the Nueva Canción movement, which is based in South America, and has inspired the people's movements of Latin America and in Central America. So through the Encuentro, we witnessed a renaissance of sorts and the coming together of lots of different musical artists locally, but also internationally. And we're certainly going to see some of that energy tonight. And so we've expressed through song and dance the music and hope, music of hope and struggle. So again, resistance. So artists have come from far and wide to share the stage in solidarity with us. And so over the years, the festival has expanded to include musical genres as diverse as salsa, reggae, cumbia, and hip hop most recently. So artists from far and wide have come and shared the stage in solidarity once again with us. And so the Encuentro alumni, which is a huge illustrious list, include international artists such as Susana Baca from Peru and Mercedes Sosa from Argentina, Choosy and Exile from San Diego, all the way in San Diego, and La Santa Cecilia,
Wow.
we will get a taste of today. And so we have always made sure to remain true to our mission of showcasing also local talent. And so some of our homegrown folks, we have the John Santos Sextet, Soltron, Locura, Rupa and the April Fishes, Diana Gameros, Bang Dada, Las Bomberas de la Bahía, Grupo Raíz, Grupo Muy Muy, Los Peludos, Los Compas, La Doña. This is a family affair, y'all. And Lauda y Los Bad Hombres. And so tonight, yeah, it's such a great lineup. And so tonight is our first virtual Encuentro. And tonight's concert, like all other Encuentros, is a fundraiser. So y'all, you are invited to participate. As always, El Encuentro, again, is a fundraiser. And so you'll participate as we step into this virtual sphere to text a donation in support of bilingual media if you love El Tecolote. And so you can text capital ET50 to 71777. So 71777 at any point during the concert to make a donation of any size. You may also click on the link in the comments. All proceeds will support El Tecolote newspaper and other Acción Latina programming.
That's right. Thank you so much, Josué. And of course, we'd like to throw in the texting option because depending on how you're watching tonight, if you're watching on your laptop, we figure we don't want you to miss the show. So you can go ahead and just text ET50 to 71777 on your phone. And that way you can do both things at the same time. You're not missing the concert, you're able to give. And we appreciate, again, just any donation of any size, super appreciated. And so to kind of continue on situating ourselves and just, again, remembering, having the nostalgia, thinking about how this all began, because this is now 39 years in the making, I want to be able to introduce one of our first guests for this evening. He's one of the co-founders of this very special annual concert that we now refer to as Encuentro del Canto Popular. And actually, Josue, you just mentioned one of the bands that he participated in. Many of you will remember this person from his time as a musician with the popular band of Los Peludos. So let's cue up that video and let's listen to Mr. Enrique Ramirez. Take it away.
I used to have a group called Los Peludos. This was with my brother Antonio Ramirez, Miguel Gobea, and Jamon Balberan. We have been playing in the Bay Area quite a while in support of a lot of different political causes, from farm workers to freedom for Palestine and what have you. And so there was a number of groups doing political song, but we had not had the opportunity to come together and put on a concert that featured political music about current events, dealing with issues from all over the world. And we decided to form what's now called Encuentro del Canto Popular, which is the encounter or the meeting of the popular song. I and the rest of the group were the primary organizers of the event. I recall that we also had Luis Echeverria, who now lives in Puerto Rico, Juan Gonzalez, Bill Martinez, and we pretty much went ahead and contacted all the different groups and offered the idea to have a couple of nights of concert of a political song. And we had our first concert at what's now the Chapel on Valencia, which back then used to be New College of California, in the auditorium. So we were doing everything. We were doing the publicity, we were doing the rehearsals, sound checks, carrying speakers and equipment back and forth, selling tickets. But those events were quite remarkable because we also had workshops on the day following the first concert. We had meetings with the other groups and we exchanged ideas as to where we were going and what was the future of the political song in the Bay Area. You know, I've had a dual relationship with El Tecolote because I've worked with the Encuentro del Canto Popular and also as an attorney when they call me to do an interview or when I put an ad about my business there, and always trying to be supportive. So I always try to get a copy of the paper, stay up in terms of community issues and community events, and also pass the word on, send a little copy to other friends who don't get to read this type of local newspaper. So I worked more recently. Juan sent me to be a correspondent at the August 29th Chicano Moratorium event that we just had last August, right? So every now and then I find a role to play that is supportive of El Tecolote's plans into the future.
Thank you, Enrique. I had the pleasure of interviewing Enrique with our new AV editor, Monty Rossetti, who you'll meet later. And Enrique is such a remarkable person, such an inspiration. You know, just want to acknowledge him and say thank you to him and to all of the other founders of Encuentro del Canto Popular, and also to the Acción Latina team that has just kept it going over the years. And like we said, that still continues. This may be the first time that, we're gathering virtually, but it definitely still has that spirit of Encuentro del Canto Popular that we all remember. So again, just thank you for joining us. And now it is my pleasure to introduce someone who will be presenting a special recognition to El Tecolote in celebration of its 50th anniversary, which we celebrated back in August. We're still celebrating, and we're going to continue to celebrate next year too, because again, this is a big milestone, not to just be celebrated once. We want to keep this party going. So I'm now going to go ahead and welcome California Assembly Member David Chu.
Good evening, buenas tardes. I'm David Chu, your Assembly Member. Thank you for inviting me to this very special celebration of Acción Latina and your 39th Encuentro del Canto Popular concert. Tonight is an opportunity to acknowledge the resistance and the struggles of our Latinx community and all of our communities of color. Given the incredible crises that we are going through due to pandemic, recession, and ongoing racism, it's important that we come together to center ourselves and to rededicate ourselves to the fight. As we reflect on this year and think about social justice, I also want to highlight the incredible social justice work that El Tecolote has continued to do in its 50th year. 50 years of lifting up the voices of those who need to be heard. On the honor of this occasion, I asked our state legislature to issue a special resolution to honor El Tecolote. And if I can read an excerpt, whereas as a local newspaper that has informed, empowered, and sustained members of the Latinx community in San Francisco and throughout the Bay Area for 50 years, El Tecolote has exemplified the best attributes of community journalism, engagement, and leadership. Let it be resolved by the California State Legislature that El Tecolote and its parent organization, Acción Latina, be commended for your exemplary contributions to journalism and providing high-quality news coverage for San Francisco's greater Latinx community, and we extend our best wishes to your future successes. Thank you, Juan Gonzalez, El Tecolote, and Acción Latina for continuing to fight for our communities. Have a wonderful night.
Hi, I'm Eva Martinez, and I'm here to tell you about El Tecolote's 50 for 50 donor campaign. Between now and December, we aim to raise $50,000 in celebration of El Tecolote's 50 years of journalism. Having an independent, community-based bilingual news media outlet like El Tecolote is so important, especially now. El Tecolote is directly accountable to the community it serves. It puts a spotlight on our issues, and it gives the people movement a louder, broader, and bilingual voice. Through its coverage, it promotes the work of local nonprofits providing social services and cultural institutions. El Tecolote has covered the community as an insider for 5 decades. Its archive represents a 50-year historical snapshot of Latinx life and culture. No one else has this extensive on-the-ground documentation, and we are so proud of it. Additionally, El Teco has provided free journalism training for students and community members for 50 years, helping to launch many careers and giving people a publishing platform. And all this has been done bilingually. Now we are asking for your support to help ensure that El Tecolote continues its important work for many more decades. We are asking you to join the 50 for 50 donor campaign, which will provide funding for regular technology upgrades, paid internships, staff development, and more. Please donate to El Tecolote, your favorite local news media outlet. Become a one-time or a monthly donor. Every dollar counts towards our $50,000 goal. To donate, you can text ET50 to 71777. That's ET50 to 71777. That'll take you to our fundraising page. Or you could send a check to the Acción Latina office, where someone will put the address in the text below. Donations are tax deductible. So please donate. Now I have the honor of introducing John Funabiki. Our friendship started in 1990, 30 years ago, when John hired me to help him establish the Center for Integration and Improvement of Journalism at San Francisco State. Its mission was to critically examine how the mainstream news media were covering communities of color and other disenfranchised people. Working with him for so many years, I've seen John's ongoing effort to improve journalism. But beyond corporate media, John deeply believes in the power of the ethnic news media, and he really shows this in his support for El Tecolote. Over the last decade, John regularly brought his journalism class to El Tecolote's newsroom, teaching them the value of a community-based newspaper. One of those visits included a student named Alexis Terrazas, Teco's current amazing editor. I've learned so much from John, and now it's your turn to meet him and to hear what he has to say about El Tecolote.
In 1990, I was hired at San Francisco State University to start their Center for Integration and Improvement of Journalism. So it was a new center focused on diversity in media. And I hired Eva as my deputy director. After we recruited, and she was one of the applicants. And as soon as I met her, I loved her. And we worked together for 5 years. And during that time period, she introduced me to El Tecolote. So I started a class at the university. It started as an experimental class, and I worked with a couple of different news outlets. El Tecolote was one, and what we asked the students to do was experience what it's like to cover a community, not necessarily your own community, but to cover a community and understand what it is that the community needs. What do the people who live there, what do they need from the news media, rather than what you like to cover? Okay, that's the trick. And gratefully, many of the students who have taken the class have really come to love it. They're not all Latino students. In the case of working with El Tecolote, many of them are Black students, Asian students, white students, Muslim students, very diverse. And I think that most of them really, really enjoy it, and I think it's really enlightening for them. I could see El Tecolote and Acción Latina kind of together, really growing, right? And growing in different ways. I mean, certainly being stronger within the mission, but also reaching out to other parts of the Bay Area, and other parts of the United States, having some kind of influence. So I guess that would be a wish, but I'll leave that in your hands to carry out.
So thank you, John Funabiki. That certainly is a wish that we all share. And El Tecolote, I mean, think about it. It's been around for 50 years. And to be able to say that, it's kind of incredible. I mean, El Tecolote has really outlived a lot of newspapers. It's really, as a director, I could tell you, it's really a challenge to keep a newspaper going. But not only is El Tecolote continuing to exist and resist and to tell our stories, El Tecolote continues to improve. So in 2020, as we turned 50 years old, El Tecolote broke all of its records for all of the awards that it's gotten through the Bay Area San Francisco Press Club, not least of which is the Overall Excellence Award that we got for the first time. So that is incredible. So if you want to do, be a part of this amazing winning story, it's really easy. Find a way to just pick up your phone and text ET50 to 71777 and contribute. We do need that as we continue to push for excellence and train, as John Funabiki was saying, train young media makers of all walks of life who are interested in being involved and get them started in their careers as young journalists, as communicators, as articulate creators. There is so much power in telling our own stories and taking our own narratives into our own hands as BIPOC, BIPOC, people of color, making our own media. And on the topic of amazing people telling their own stories, we have a real treat. Our first opening act, TRUpeople, which is a hip hop group that is homegrown, that is loyal to this soil, that is San Francisco based. So TRUpeople brings urban consciousness rap to the fore. Locals with heart and soul, hailing from San Francisco, California, they are dedicated to spreading positive vibes through hip hop. TRUpeople is composed of these members, these amazing lyricists: K.E. the Spirit, Soli Ness, Raf, and producer Merk, aka Mauricio. So now, the question is, do you keep it true? With no further ado, give it up. TRUpeople, y'all.
Hey, what's up? Shout out Acción Latina for the
39th annual
Encuentro Popular. This show supports bilingual journalism through El Tecolote newspaper. This here's TRUpeople.
True.
Yeah. Ness. K.E. the Spirit.
Let's go.
Raf. Yeah. This song's called Don't Sleep on Me Now.
You better not.
Yeah.
Hey, it's never as it seems.
You try to see the good in what it brings,
But I don't even know. I'm cutting all the strings.
the power that it brings. Gonna find out.
Cause I don't even know.
I don't even know.
Falling on my head.
Don't sleep on me now. Got lightning above my bed. Sound like rain now.
Sound like rain.
Falling on my head. Don't sleep on me now. Got lightning above my bed. Got lightning above my bed. And knowledge is what I see. Was gifted with healing rays when I no longer accepted that I could be weak. A million of those that are killing like climbing a mountain is peak. Surrounded by critique. Then I found a piece to the puzzle. Remove the muzzle. Now I am a lead. Fighting with others is fighting myself. Like thinking of heaven while living in hell. Contradictions are a limitless well. It should be low frequency. Watch out for ill. Why do we listen to evil? Burning the bridges and lead us right back to ourselves. How do we turn into sheep? Who gave in the ego? Asking the shepherd for help. Buying up all that they sell us. That someone got more than we jealous. It's bad to rebuild. Caught up in lies on the scale. So we embellish and trying to feel. Remember them days with no water when things will get harder when the rain falls. Let it unveil. Last camera action. You gon' be really just acting. Who gon' determine your will? Feet on the soil. Don't let the water inside your body boil. That can destroy you. Giving's receiving. Don't nobody owe you. Living is breathing. We can't be destroyed. Don't be annoyed. Essence like filling the void. React turn in the void. Working yourself. You can't be unemployed. Rejoice and listen. You're in the voice. Yeah.
It's never as it seems. You try to see the good in what it brings, but I don't even know. I'm cutting all the strings. The power that it brings, gonna find out. Cause I don't even know. Falling on my head. Don't sleep on me now. Got lightning above my bed. Sound like rain now. Sound like rain. Falling on my head. Don't sleep on me now. Got lightning above my bed.
Yeah, I don't even know how I got to this. I've been on my grind, I've been on my shit. Every hill I climb, there's another risk. With another turn, there's another twist. Karma's turn, she's still a bitch. Picking and choosing whoever she wishes. As long as your name is the one on the list. You know, in the midst of all of the chaos, we go super saiyan. Cause we always lit. I know there's a saying, the glory is great, and I'm winging the barbers. Some man of this shit. As real as it gets, the moment in time where I felt defeated. So down in the ground, I cannot believe it. I looked at myself and I had a feeling, ain't nothing would change if I'm breaking even.
It goes, no matter where I go.
Somebody always on your corner. Everyone else is coming for you. Whoa. If I keep believing that I will achieve it, when you lose momentum, there's a million reasons. When you live for someone, what's the point of breathing? What's the point of trying if you sell your freedom?
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out the message. Can't be in my head with second guessing. I know what it's like to be in question. Yeah. I'm still trying to figure out the message. Can't be in my head with second guessing. That never again will be in question.
Damn.
It's never as it seems.
You try to see the good in what it brings,
but I don't even know.
I'm
cutting all the strings.
The power that it brings, gonna find out.
Cause I don't even know.
I don't even know. Falling on my head. Don't sleep on me now. Got lightning up on my bed.
Sound like rain now, sound like rain.
Falling on my head. Don't sleep on me now. Got lightning up on my bed. Yeah, he's a lost boy.
I wish that I can find, boy.
Trapped within the cycle of destruction is a blindfold. He pursue a different kind of life form. Question what you die for. Question what you live for. What you live for. Trying to transform in a vast form, but that don't really work for him. It's a long road to reach the inner core. The heart, the pumping source. Yeah, the fire is like intercourse. Be the force, feel the force. Yeah, beautiful thing. Patience for everything, everything taking its time to develop the rest of the ball when it comes to grow. You letting it go, you letting it grow. Exercise, expand the mind, read the damn signs. It's time within a capsule. Spirit in the soul becoming a capture. The body in the mind becoming a master. Developing every answer, not a lot so. We really just in the early chapter. We a factor, you a factor. You maneuver through disaster. Swing one time, all in one, we the damn master. We a factor,
You a factor. Swing one time, hold it one, we the damn masters.
It's never as it seems. You try to see the good in what it brings,
But I don't even know.
I don't even know.
I'm cutting all the strings.
The power that it brings, gonna find
Cause
out.
I don't even know.
I don't even know. Falling on my head. Don't sleep on me now. Got lightning up on my bed.
Sound like rain now, sound like rain.
Falling on my head. Don't sleep on me now. Got lightning up on my bed.
Yeah.
True people. Yeah. Welcome to the show. Encuentro Del Acción Latina. Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to the Peruvian gods.
Yes.
Yeah. True people.
Yeah.
1 shot, 2 shot, 3 shot, 4. Add it up to 10 and we breaking out every door. The citizens ain't winning until the children is innocent. Bless them with wisdom, no juveniles in detention. I'm well aware of prevention, but curriculum was made by the hench in high dimension. Telling me be relentless, they made a movie by fences, but they ain't keeping us fenced in. Walls fall, we stand taller than giants. Until I'm dead, I'm defying the powers that be aligned. They keeping us separated, make drugs to keep us sedated. Slave on us celebrated, get $1 million, nigga, we made it. We must be faded, still got dues to be paid. City blues the A, getting fat off the profit instead of spending, let's save. Breaking humans out the cage, zombies crawling out the grave. You waking about the days, and when they speak it end the days, but the blame on the handmaids.
The sage
Builds a better script. Imitate the plants so we can blossom at the tip. It's equivalent to mine. Lifelong trips, foreign lands are touch chips. Well before shit. High flying planes in the sky, we living lit. Walking different darts, connect the dots and getting big. Mosquitoes making hits, that's mosquitoes making blood. It's humans shedding blood by humans hating us. So uniting
You know we born ready, a storm that holds steady with flows that pours heavy on those that's so scary. Our goal is longevity, it's prosperity, it's full clarity, there's no charity. There ain't a motherfucker giving a shit. We just putting pieces together, trying to make it legit. Everybody has got a reason when they calling it quits.
I've been on that list.
Cross it up, been good ever since. Reminisce, eyes closed and nobody exists. For a second I'm liberated, then reality hits. Never quit, always fighting, never will I submit. Never flip on nobody, cause that's not in my mix. Never twist up my fingers, less a bun in between. The temptation lingers, but at least in my dream, you can conquer the planet while becoming the king.
I'm the king.
Have everybody bending the knee? It's
Cause
like,
I am no longer under control of the scam.
I can
Be impressed by the Malcolm X stamp. Cause the bones that they throw us is keeping us at our lowest. It's time to raise up the lotus, regenerate like the boas. And temperatures that are coldest is one we need to get closest. Unity never hopeless, and scared to see who's the dopest. Casting spells like abracadabra and hocus pocus. The ancients said don't lose focus, so don't evoke this.
Fresh fast,
In pursuit of fast cash. Wanna sacrifice us, but we can't do correct math. Zero back, but she wanna shake a big ass. This is Dr. Moore, but for a booty in hand. Do the dance, shaking mommy, bounce that ass. Got the people People blinded after taking just one glance. Feel a jiggle, my eyes open up a little. Third eye wide to extrapolate the riddles. I'm breaking them down like kibbles. Humans just like Skittles. Split us open and we see we equal in the middle. When we was little, we was ignorant to race. Colors mix around, making love the first place. You can see it in the face. All we need is eyes to comprehend the taste. And feel it in the grace. Most of us feel with rage when they're trapped within the cage. Heart on stage, beneath the lights you flip the page.
At times I feel better, cold with no sweater. Slow to get cheddar, it's good, I'm no beggar. I know I'm no treasure, business not pleasure. This is no time to question whatever it takes.
No one's on our level.
Don't make no mistakes.
You got to be clever.
No need for clean slates.
I've lived and learned better.
Make good with what's given, this now will not ever.
Yeah. Ow. People. Yeah.
Arriba. Let's go. Yeah. Tell them.
Bullet, shoot it, burn it. We living that killer shit. It's killing my feelings, yeah. Numbing the feeling I'm sick. We living in front of the gun. No one know we all wanna run. Feels like the healing will never be come. How many fell on the ground and done? Trying to find love in the big city, Trying to find love in the big city, Sick and wicked, the power be sticking to people with hate. Fighting the people, we laying the cooler the hate that they made. The city boys to pray, them city boys full of rage. We looking at breaking the cage, energy raised at war from back in the day. Ain't no change, they telling me to become free, but I can't breathe, become free. I don't believe it until we defeat them. That's freedom. Right now is not the time to kick your feet up. Keep your chin up. Love is strong. Mama made it home for dinner. I hope you made it too. Believe that love is true. People together move. United we the truth. Who put our brains on live. Forget that we ain't moving forward every time we stop. Wake up, time to go. Time to go, time to go. Free the weight that holds you down. We ain't dying slow. No limitations on what I know. Wake up, time to go. I just wanna be free to do my own thing. And that takes honesty, a promise to myself that I won't dishonor my promises. A mountain full of wealth couldn't keep you from where you're consciously. You could run for help or help out by raising your consciousness. Calling all diviners, the children of blood and bones is here. No more hope for fear. We make magic reappear. Sticks and stones can heal. When they hit you, that's when it gets real. Together we form a shield. They ain't penetrating with steel. You can't say what you don't love in the first place. And every single day somebody losing the worst way. But we gon' keep our head up for the ones that are thirsty. Cause when we live forever in this world, that's just a test of our endeavors. I am no mess up, just a higher form. Get to better recognize pressure when you let your eyes catch up. Hold on, life could be a cold storm. Higher form with me when I'm gone, but also when I'm here. Who put our brains on live? Forget that we ain't moving forward every time we stop. Wake up, time to go.
Time to go, time to go.
Free the weight that holds you down. We ain't dying slow. No limitations on what I know. Wake up, time to go.
I close my eyes and see the future. See what the future holds for me. Looking around with some confusion, not really good as it can be. This dream is apparently elusive. Hiding behind the hidden trees, feeling sense of being useless. Not gonna be my destiny. It ain't gonna be my main objective.
Nah.
Ain't gonna be what represents me. Know what it takes to be relentless. When punching to go with no objections.
That's
Feel
right.
when the anger turns to rage. Outside is another kind of picture. Inside I'm a fire that's contained. With y'all of my happiness is with you. With no apologies, I'm an anomaly. Never take a step back just to make a scene. Know it's been a long time, but my soul is free. But it's still a long road for the ones in need. Who need it the most? The ones that are fighting that feeling is close. Still at a reach, put together with hope. We get to a place where nobody's for both. Fill up with another is ready to go. To get through the struggle can be on our own. We in it together, get ready to go. Watch us to finish this journey is slow, but little is known. Predicting the future weighs heavy on many, including the soul. Your mind is a muscle you fully control. A dangerous weapon that's ready to go.
Who put our brains on live? Forget that we ain't moving forward every time we stop. Wake up, time to go.
Time to go, time to go.
Free the weight that holds you down. We ain't dying slow. No limitations on what I know. Wake up, time to go. Yeah. True people.
2020.
Murky Murk on the beats.
Encuentro Popular, thank you so much.
Get it.
Yeah, true people.
Yeah. Wake up.
Soliness, K the
Acción
Spirit,
Latina.
Raph, Murky Murk.
Let's get it. Yeah.
Wow, that was amazing. I hope everyone's out there dancing and having a good time. My name is Monty Rossetti, and I am the new AV editor here for El Tecolote. I'm here to talk about the exciting future for El Tecolote in audio. Next year, we're going to be launching a Radio Teco podcast, and we need your support. So please text ET50 to 71777 to make a donation tonight. This podcast series that we're going to have is going to be just an extra extension of the newspaper. The 50 years that the newspaper has had the success, we're going to put it in an audio form. We're going to talk about the news, and we're going to talk about cultural events, a weekly series that we're going to touch all subjects. We want to listen to from you, your suggestions. Give us any suggestions to talk about, and we're excited to launch this. We've actually already created a little mini series that you can find on the podcast tab on the Tecolote website called The Making of a Candidate, or we have some Spanish episodes called El Camino del Candidat X. We were able to speak to Assembly Member Alex Lee. We talked to Jackie Fielder. We talked to plenty of local politicians that were actually fighting the status quo here in the Bay Area and giving us some kind of hope of positive change, especially after a very negative 2020. So there's a lot of good and exciting things that I'm going to be a part of with this amazing team that we have here with Tecolote. I'm still amazed. I can't believe I had to go after TRUpeople. I think that was kind of a hard job for me to do, but I'll bear with it. And now I'll introduce us to our next testimonial, which I was able to interview with Fatima, is Dawn Garcia. She served as a volunteer for Tecolote, and she is now the director of the John S. Knight Journalism Fellowship at Stanford University. An amazing, amazing person, a great conversation, and I hope you enjoy.
So I first heard about El Tecolote when I was a reporter at the San Francisco Chronicle, and I was covering the Mission District. And you can't not hear about El Tecolote if you're covering the Mission District. And I also was on the side teaching a journalism class at San Francisco State, so there were connections there. So I heard about it then, and I met Juan, who is somebody who can convince anybody to do anything. Yeah, in a good way. El Tecolote has had such a impact not only in San Francisco but on the community, and the thing that I think about, and really it's really had an amazing history that I think people need to celebrate and cherish. And that magazine piece, the Stanford magazine piece, which I had convinced him to write, by the way. There's a great picture there from the archives, if you're looking at the archives, with Cesar Chavez reading El Tecolote. Have you thought? And so there's this great history that I think people need to know about these organizations but especially El Tecolote, as we're talking about now, the history of how it's tied in with community, of course, the Mission District, but also the Chicano community and the Latino community and the various things you call the community over the years, and that history, and people should know that history. So I think that's a wonderful thing that El Tecolote has done and had a role in. And also that the power of volunteerism, and that I was a volunteer, and there are people that I'm still connected to who are with El Tecolote. I mentioned Joel Simon, who's now, the head of Committee to Protect Journalists, and there were editors at the Sacramento Bee, Carlos Alcala, who I'm still in connecting with, and a number of people who got their start and many of them were either volunteers or did do journalism there for pay. But it's when you do something because you're passionate about it, it's so much more powerful, and that continues. And so we are all connected, all these people from El Tecolote from back then, because we cared and we wanted to make a difference in that community. So the power of volunteers and the power of being passionate and following your passion, and the power of somebody like Juan, who is just been able to convince everybody that they should help him do that because it was the right thing to do.
All right. Thank you, Don. Super appreciate, you sharing that testimonial with us. And again, I had such a pleasure to be able to do these interviews with Monty. Again, just learn from some of the amazing people that have been part of El Tecolote's history over these past 50 years. And so again, we just want to, acknowledge all of you who are watching with us. I see some of y'all have been trickling in as well. So I hope y'all are warmed up now after that amazing performance by TRUpeople, also featuring lots of people I love, really. My husband, Mark, who did the beats for the group, and also one of my best friends, Vicky Cortez, who also did vocals on one of the tracks too. Just want to acknowledge them. Thank you so much for joining us for this historic 39th Encuentro del Canto Popular. And also, you're welcome, everybody. Now you know TRUpeople. You can follow them on IG at TRUpeople. Check them out. They've got some music videos on there. You can also check out their playlist, listen to them on SoundCloud. So go ahead and check them out. Recommend them to your homies. They the truth, as I'm seeing in our comments. So thank you. Also, don't feel shy to at any point throughout the night to drop your comments. I'm seeing wishes of Feliz Navidad, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa to everybody. So go ahead and do that. And also keep texting and keep donating whatever you can. We really appreciate it. I want to acknowledge some of the people who have given so far. I'm seeing Armando, David, Olga Talamante. Thank you so much. Really means a lot. And again, anybody else who's able to contribute what they can, of course, we welcome that. And just so y'all know, we were able to raise almost $2,000 at our August birthday celebration. So I think we can make some magic happen tonight too. I'll leave that in your hands. And so, bueno, now that we got you all warmed up and you've listened to our first musical act of the evening, I have the pleasure of introducing our second musical performance tonight. And I'll be doing her intro in Spanish, as I see a lot of folks were commenting in Spanish about this particular performer. So here we go. So vamos a seguir con este segundo acto musical esta noche. Sé que muchos de nuestra audiencia colombiana en particular están muy emocionados de escuchar la voz de esta talentosa cantautora. Pues esta cantante nos recuerda mucho de los orígenes de la música y el movimiento de la nueva canción, o lo que en Colombia le llaman la canción de autora. I just learned this. In Colombia, they refer to nueva canción as la canción de autor o la canción de autora. Su música es un manifiesto sonoro que nace de una investigación de las raíces musicales de su pueblo Manizales en Caldas, Colombia. Shout out to Manizales en Caldas, Colombia. Se ha presentado ella en muchos festivales, tanto en Medellín como en Bogotá. Así que desde Sudamérica, démosle la bienvenida a la muchacha.
Soy la de las malas combinaciones, junto veladoras, ramas y alcoholes. Soy la de las cuatro caras en las cuatro esquinas y ando repartida en las cuatro direcciones. Bendigo cristales como bruja. No hago mal de ojo, pero sí te clavo el mío cuando miras. Mírame partida, rota, mal envuelta, con la herida abierta, pero viva. Tengo una ramita ruda detrás de la oreja y pa' que traiga amores y me cuide bien la lengua de las heridas viejas, de las heridas viejas. Traiga romero, caléndula y sal y prenda candela pa' cocinar, un diente león pa' sacar el veneno, quemo eucalipto, prenda saumerio, traiga 2 flores de borrachero para curarme los malos sueños, agua, tabaco, humo de María, recia los ojos de Santa Lucía. Traigo ramo de coca para los dolores y los males, sábila por si se quema y chocolo pa' los riñones, veranera y clavo de laguna pa' calmar la tos, ajo macho con su recito y su protección. En esta plaza le tengo cura sin recelo, pases, échese un menjurje y pare bolas, que esto es cuento viejo, que esto es cuento viejo. Alelelelele, doro dorom baira, dorom dere de, doro dorom baira, dorom dere dorope, pomorom bere naira, alele, alela, dore borom borope, pomorom bere baira. Soy la de las malas combinaciones, junto veladoras, ramas y alcoholes. Soy la de las 4 caras en las 4 esquinas y ando repartida en las 4 direcciones. Bendigo cristales como bruja y no hago mal de ojo, pero sí te clavo el mío cuando miras. Mírame partida, rota, mal envuelta, con la herida abierta, pero viva. Muchas gracias. Yo soy Isabel Ramírez Ocampo, la muchacha, y esto es Encuentro del Canto Popular en su versión número 39, organizado por Acción Latina con el apoyo del periódico Tecolote, que cumple sus 50 años. Así que muchas gracias por la invitación a todo este equipo tan maravilloso. Voy a cantar otra canción que hace parte del tercer disco de la muchacha, y se llama La Sentada y habla de la situación sociopolítica que vivimos en nuestro país, en Colombia. La canción anterior que canté se llama Las Hierbas, pero esta se llama La Sentada, así que ahí va. Yo aquí sentada y todo tan paraco, tan sucio, tan berraco, tan por debajo de la mesa. Quien invite a la cerveza le cuento este cuento largo, largo como el cañón del río donde habitan los escorpiones. Ay, yo aquí parchada y todo tan mordido, tan desaparecido, tan por debajo de la tierra. Nos embutieron la guerra hasta el fondo de la tráquea y los pájaros se comieron los huesos encima del monte. Se comieron todo el queso y mataron al ratón. Le pegaron 3 balazos y quien fue ya se voló pa' los oscuros huecos de las bestias innombrables a recoger más billetes para acabar con la plaga. Y como dicen los señores, lo callamos o se calla, a las balas o a los golpes, así el niño esté mirando, así usted esté comiendo, pa' que vaya pues sabiendo cómo son las vainas en las tierras de las altas democracias. Ay, leren, lerale, lerele, la, la, la. Ay, lere, la, leren, lara, ay, lera, la, lere, la, la, la. La, 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 ay, la, la, la. Yo aquí parchada y todo tan mordido, tan desaparecido, tan por debajo de la tierra. Nos embutieron la guerra hasta el fondo de la tráquea y los pájaros se comieron los huesos encima del monte. Muchísimas gracias, eso fue La Sentada. Y voy a cantar una última canción que se llama Chucha y habla sobre el tlacuache, que habita también estos territorios aquí en Sudamérica, y es un animal que tiene la vida bastante amenazada por la sevicia del ser humano. Entonces le hice una canción tratando de enfocarme en cómo nos hablaría ese tlacuache a nosotros, reclamándonos por su vida, reclamándonos que lo dejemos tranquilo y que dejemos de matarlo. Así que esto se llama Chucha. garras, dientes, humildemente muerta, garras, dientes, necesariamente animal, chucha, chucha, chucha más chucha, será la garra que a mí me tire a matar. Chucha más chucha, será la garra que a mí me llegue a matar. Y yo no soy rata, soy marsupial. Usted no conoce esta casa, por eso me trata tan mal. Usted no soporta la gracia de cagar las matas con prosperidad. A usted no le gusta esta casa, usted no soporta el ramal. Usted no soporta que yo haya llegado primero a este matorral. ¡Ay, chucha! Chucha, chucha más chucha, será la garra que a mí me tire a matar. Chucha más chucha, será la garra que a mí me llegue a matar. Y yo no soy rata, soy marsupial. Soy marsupial, soy marsupial, soy marsupial. Muchísimas gracias. Yo soy Isabel Ramírez, la muchacha desde Colombia. Bueno, para mí la canción de autor en Colombia tiene avances muy importantes en este momento. Creo que hay muchos de los contextos de nuestras regiones que están explotando al mismo tiempo en este sentido. Creo que cada vez somos más las y los que queremos cantar lo que sentimos y lo que percibimos de nuestro contexto social, político, íntimo, de género, familiar. Y lo más importante, y creo que lo que más evidencio en este tiempo, es la presencia de nosotras las mujeres en esta canción, porque ha sido un hábitat bastante masculino. Los escenarios siempre han estado cubiertos de nuestros referentes más grandes y más antiguos, que han sido hombres, así que en este momento somos muchas, somos un montón, tenemos festivales solo con la presencia nuestra, así que me parece bien importante. Para mí la canción de autor es un espacio donde nos emancipamos y donde nos hacemos muchas preguntas sobre la manera en la que vivimos en Colombia, y eso me parece lo más importante, que no tengamos miedo de decir las cosas, porque Colombia tiene un contexto político y de conflicto bastante complicado, pero creo que también hemos sabido perder, entre comillas, el miedo de decir las cosas a través de la canción. Entonces, para mí es un proceso que va caminando, que tal vez es mucho más pequeño a comparación de Chile o de Argentina, por ejemplo, pero que va muy fuerte y va en un crecimiento bastante importante para mí. Así que eso es. Yo soy Isabel Ramírez Ocampo, la muchacha. Muchísimas gracias.
Wow, qué cosa más poderosa. Mil gracias a Isabel Ramírez Ocampo, also known as La Muchacha. Como dicen en mi país, that rocked. Big shout out to San Francisco Mission District's own Del Corazón Music record label that will be pressing La Muchacha's music, coming at you pressed right here in the Mission District by La Plebe's own Alberto Cuellar, the leader of Del Corazón Music. So y'all keep an eye out for that. I know that once that drops, I'm gonna get a couple copies. If you guys are my homies, you might get a couple copies for Christmas. I don't even know, I'm gonna rifar a couple copies. So that is gonna be excellent. Pero de nuevo, mil gracias a La Muchacha por esa presentación tan poderosa y por compartir tu arte con nosotros y con esta audiencia realmente que es realmente internacional. So, that being said, no hay que perder el miedo de contar nuestras historias. We got, like she was saying, for those of you who may not speak Spanish, she said we have to lose the fear of saying our truths or telling our stories. And that is what El Tecolote is all about. And so please do remember, yo tampoco tengo pelos en la lengua ni miedo de decir, I'm not afraid to say, text ET50 to 71777 to support El Tecolote. Keep us doing what we do best, and keep actually our community doing what we all do best, which is tell our stories. So with that being said, I would like to introduce you guys another very powerful, poderosa mujer who's using her art form to tell stories, and she is also a very powerful El Tecolote alumni. So the illustrious celebrated photographer who has been featured in several publications, including, but not limited to, the LA Weekly, Vice Magazine, XXL, Rolling Stone, the Washington Post, San Francisco Chronicle, Hamburger Eyes, to name just a few. But far before she was doing all of these amazing things and doing fashion shoots across the world, she served as El Tecolote's photo editor. I'm talking about the one and only Miss Amanda Lopez, and we're gonna hear some of her testimony, what she did here at El Tecolote. So with no further ado, Amanda Lopez.
El Tecolote I heard about in college. So I went to San Francisco State and, took some Raza Studies classes and learned about El Tecolote that way. And then one of my friends actually, I'm not sure if she was the like volunteer coordinator, or maybe did something similar that you did, Fatima, but she was coordinating volunteers to help promote one of the encuentros, and she asked if me and my roommates wanted to like help out and put up posters and help. I don't know if we helped sell tickets, but I know that we were like the street team to like get the word out. So that's how I first got involved with El Tecolote and like Acción Latina. I really enjoyed my time as a photo editor at El Tecolote. It was my first job like out of college that was photo related. So it was really exciting for me to come to the newspaper and work with a team of photographers. And it was a different, as a photographer, you have to photo edit your own work, but it was a different lane to photo edit other people's work, but I really liked it. It was really fun to get the photos back, see what the photographer had made, and then try to pick the best photo for the newspaper. I enjoyed my time there. I think I was there for maybe 6 months. And the biggest thing that, when I was thinking about this interview and like my experience at Tecolote, like the biggest reward I would say that came out of it is the community that was built like at my time there. Like I'm still friends with the former photo archivist. I'm still friends with the former executive director. I'm still friends with like the former volunteer creator. Like the communities that are built at Tecolote are so strong, and in my experience have lasted from college till now, like decades. And so I think that's one of the biggest blessings that came out of my experience working with El Tecolote. My wish for El Tecolote is for it to be around and thriving in 50 years. I feel like I touched on it a little bit, but really like the connections and the experience in the community, all these things that you get from this newspaper are so invaluable, so powerful, so transformative. My wish is that for 50 years, El Tecolote is thriving and reaching even more people.
Wow.
Amazing.
Wow, incredible. Thank you so much, Amanda, for your contributions and for continuing to shine. ¿Verdad que sí?
Yes, of course. Muchas gracias.
And now you know, moving right along as we appreciate our creators, media makers, artists, mujeres poderosas. We're going to just keep along with that positive vibe. And this is a moment we've been all kind of building up to, we've been waiting for. Who's ready to listen to the soul-stirring sounds of La Única Poderosa, Ms. La Marisoul? We're lucky to count with the presence of this talented lead singer of the Grammy Award-winning band, La Santa Cecilia. Y'all might have heard of them.
Oh yeah, I remember them. 2012, our Encuentro.
That's right, definitely some Encuentro history. Right.
Yeah, that's some Encuentro trivia for all you loyal Encuentro fans. Name that year. I named it for you. 2012.
Yes, you did. I was like, yeah, you
I already told you the answer. This
it's
is
a trick
easy.
question.
It's the best game show ever. All right, so, oh, that's right. I get to tell you this next part. You hyped us up for La Marisoul and La Santa Cecilia. So here's some facts. Maybe some of y'all know if you're also La Marisoul fans. So many people on Los Angeles' historic Olvera Street remember a little girl singing Spanish language boleros for tourists who sometimes would drop spare change in a hat nearby. And growing up part-time in Mexico and the United States created really this duality of American pop culture and the roots of traditional folkloric music, which helped shape La Marisoul's musical sensibility and just really amazing, powerful sound. Tonight, you'll hear her perform along two maestro musicians, Jorge Herrera y Federico Zúñiga. Esperemos que les guste este homenaje a la nueva canción y que se animen a bailar con el ritmo de su son y de sus rancheras. Con ustedes,
La
Marisoul.
Good evening, everyone. Yo soy La Marisoul, and welcome to the 39th annual Encuentro del Canto Popular, a fundraiser by Acción Latina in support of El Tecolote bilingual newspaper, who is celebrating 50th anniversary. They're celebrating their 50th anniversary, así que me da muchísimo gusto de celebrar los 39 años del Encuentro Popular, del Canto Popular, y los 50 años del Tecolote, pues con música. Así que empecemos esta celebración with one of my all-time favorite songs, and it's a song that has gotten me by in this crazy year of 2020. Cambia lo superficial, cambia también lo profundo, cambia el modo de pensar, cambia todo en este mundo, cambia el clima con los años, cambia el pastor su rebaño, y así como todo cambia, que yo cambie no es extraño, cambia el más fino brillante de mano en mano su brillo, cambia el nido el pajarillo, cambia el sentir un amante, cambia el rumbo el caminante, aunque esto le cause daño, y así como todo cambia, que yo cambie no es extraño, cambia, todo cambia. Cambia, todo cambia. Cambia, todo cambia. Cambia, todo cambia. Cambia el sol en su carrera cuando la noche subsiste, cambia la planta y se viste de verde la primavera, cambia el pelaje la fiera, cambia el cabello el anciano, Y así como todo cambia, que yo cambie no es extraño, pero no cambió mi amor por más lejos que me encuentre, ni el recuerdo ni el dolor de mi pueblo y de mi gente. Y lo que cambié ayer tendré que cambiar mañana, así como cambio yo en esta tierra lejana. Cambia, todo cambia. 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 Bienvenidos de regreso to the 39th annual Encuentro del Canto Popular by Acción Latina for Tecolote Bilingual Newspaper, celebrating its 50th anniversary. Yo soy la Marisoul, and I'm so very happy to share music with you. And bueno, ahora tengo unos amigos queridos aquí acompañándome, al maestro Jorge Herrera y aquí a mi amigo también otro maestro Federico Zúñiga. Y bueno, vamos a echarles unos sonecitos. Ahí les va el Siquisiri.
música suena.
La sangre corre en mis venas, mi cuerpo va calentando, mi cuerpo va calentando, también curando las penas.
La sangre corre en mis venas, mi cuerpo va calentando, mi cuerpo va calentando, mi sangre corre en mis venas.
Ay, que sí, que no, cuánto gusto me da verte.
Ay, que sí, que no.
Déjame darte un abrazo.
Ándale, porque si no,
le doy gracias a mi suerte.
Ahora sí, mañana no.
Porque con el tiempo acaso más y más puedo yo verte. Ay, les dejo mi poesía, mi jarana y mi cantar, mi jarana y mi cantar. Ay, les dejo mi poesía.
Ahí les dejo mi poesía, mi jarana y mi cantar, mi jarana y mi cantar. Ahí les dejo mi poesía.
Ay, les dejo mi porfía, mi esperanza junto al mar, mi esperanza junto al mar, mi nostalgia y mi alegría.
Ahí les dejo mi porfiria, mi esperanza junto al mar, mi esperanza junto al mar, mi nostalgia y alegría.
Me gusta la carretera, por moderna y por bonita, pero más me gusta a mí la carretera chiquita, pero más me gusta a mí tu vereda y tu curvita. ¿Cuál de los dos amantes tendrá más pena? ¿El que va de camino o el que se queda? El que va de camino va caminando, el que se queda, queda siempre pensando. Mañana me voy de aquí para que mi nombre borres, para que mi nombre borres. Mañana me voy de aquí.
Mañana me voy de aquí para que mi nombre borres, para que mi nombre borres. Mañana me voy de aquí.
Entonces te digo así, que ni los vientos que corren, que ni los vientos que corren, razón te darán de mí.
Entonces te digo así, que ni los vientos que corren, que ni los vientos que corren, razón te darán de mí.
Me gusta la carretera, por moderna y por bonita, pero más me gusta a mí la carretera chiquita, pero más me gusta a mí tu vereda y tu curvita. Déjala que vaya, que ya volverá. Si amor es la Ok, ahí les va esta bonita canción. Amarga Navidad. Acaba de una vez, de un solo golpe. ¿Por qué quieres matarme poco a poco? Si va a llegar el día en que me abandones, prefiero, corazón, que sea esta noche, que siempre me gustó para que te vayas, que sea tu cruel adiós mi Navidad. No quiero comenzar el año nuevo con este mismo amor que me hace tanto mal. Y ya después que pase mucho tiempo, que estés arrepentido, que tengas mucho miedo, vas a saber que aquello que dejaste fue lo que más quisiste, pero ya no hay remedio. Siempre me gustó para que te vayas, que sea tu cruel adiós mi Navidad. No quiero comenzar el año nuevo con este mismo amor que me hace tanto mal. Y ya después que pase mucho tiempo, que estés arrepentido, que tengas mucho miedo, vas a saber que aquello que dejaste fue lo que más quisiste, pero ya no hay remedio. Diciembre me gustó para que te largues, que sea tu cruel adiós mi Navidad. No quiero comenzar el año nuevo con este mismo amor que me hace tanto mal. Diciembre me gustó para que te vayas. Ahí les va una hermosa canción de Cuco Sánchez, Grítenme piedras del campo. Soy como el viento que corre alrededor de este mundo. Ando entre muchos placeres, pero no es suyo ninguno. Soy como el pájaro en jaula, preso y hundido en tu amor. Y aunque la jaula sea de oro, y aunque la jaula sea de oro, no deja de ser prisión. Háblenme montes y valles, grítenme piedras del campo. Cuando habían visto en la vida querer como estoy queriendo, llorar como estoy llorando, morir como estoy muriendo. En fin, soy en este mundo. Como la pluma en el aire. Sin rumbo voy por la vida, sin rumbo voy por la vida, y de eso tú eres culpable. Háblenme montes y valles, grítenme piedras del campo. Cuando habían visto en la vida querer como estoy queriendo, llorar como estoy llorando, morir como estoy muriendo.
All right, I'm looking for some words, but the only one that comes to mind is wow.
Wow, wow,
And,
wow.
and gracias, gracias. I could just say that word over and over again, just like gracias. My heart is full. I'm full of joy. It has been an amazing event filled with art, music, testimonials, a little bit of sprinkling of history, a little bit of sprinkling of our stories, and of course, a vision into the future. And so we've got a powerful vision for El Tecolote going forward. And I'm happy we got to see some of our new team members. We got a glimpse of Radio Teco coming up. We have some upcoming albums that are gonna drop. I'm keeping my eye out for TRUpeople, keeping my eye out for La Muchacha albums being dropped. Of course, La Marisoul, Te agradecemos, que belleza. Thank you. I will be referring back to that. Everybody in my household got chills off of Cambia Todo Cambia. That has a very special place in my heart. And so I just want to say, guys, we would also be remiss not to mention, you don't serve the community for 50 years like El Tecolote has without having 50 years of a memory. We have 50 years of an archive that no one else in the world, in the city, in anywhere else has. El Tecolote's archive goes back 50 years of our stories, y'all. This is really, really key. This is really, really important. So thank you, NPR, thank you, SF Chronicle. You guys don't got what we got. So I'm just putting that out there. No
Right, that's right.
No disrespect, but I'm just putting it out there that this is what you support when you support El Tecolote. And so just wanted to make sure that we have very present in our minds to know where we're going. We got to know where we've been. And El Tecolote has all of that. So we are also very invested in keeping y'all fresh. We want you guys to be cool and dipped in the coolest gear. As you can see, this cool thing, Fatima, you also got one on. Look at this. One of these could be yours. We actually put out only about, I think, 40 or 50 of these in our Encuentro last year. It was the only place you could have gotten it. But there might be an opportunity for people to get one of their own. Isn't that right, Fatima?
Ooh, what you talking about, Jose?
I'm gonna let you tell people how they might be able to get one of these.
All right, pues. So yeah, like you said, these were such a hit in 2019, and our original plan was to just, drop a very special batch of these for last year's concert. But people keep, checking out how fly we look when we're walking down the street, and they want some of this. They want some of these hoodies too. So we thought, why not do a special giveaway to the first 3 people who make a donation of $50 or more to support tonight's event. We will connect with you offline to make sure that you get your special El Tecolote hoodie. You just got to make a donation, $50 or more. I'm going to keep an eye out here for the notifications to confirm who are the first 3 people whose donations I'm going to see come through Oh, let's see. I'm seeing some more come through it now. I will let you know in a moment who we got. And then you too will be looking fly, my friend, with your very special El Tecolote hoodie. Do we want to give a shout out to who makes these this beautiful apparel that we're wearing, Josue?
Yep, this is not being shipped out anywhere else. This is made right here in the Mission. Shout out to Homie SF and Native Graphics for putting this together. This is actually a combination. This is the masthead of El Tecolote. So when you pick up a newspaper, you're getting this. So this is a combination of new and old. Oops, I'm pulling the wrong side. New and old. It's kind of a hybrid of the classic and the new. So this is our masthead. And so yeah, shout out Native Graphics and shout out Homie SF.
Very nice. Oh, here we go. All right. I am seeing some donations come through. I see you, Juan, but I think you got your sweater already. So let's see who else we got on here. I see Tommy Cunningham. You, my friend, will be getting a very special El Tecolote hoodie coming your way. And we got Sandra Gutierrez. All right, all right. Thank you so much for your donation and contribution. All right, and I think we're waiting for one more to come through. It could be you. Don't sleep on it now. Just like TRUpeople says, you got to be quick. Alerta, chispa.
Tomarse el café listo.
Thank you. I was like, Josue, you got all the sayings. You know all the things that the people say.
Ponerse las pilas.
Camarón que se duerme.
Se lo
lleva la corriente.
Y'all know all these. Oh, yes. I got my mom actually collected dichos. She wrote like thousands of them into her book. So she's got all these, she's got a whole collection of dichos. But yes, I got one or two.
Nice.
So you're gonna want to get one of these. Also, I gotta just point, it's just heather blue, so it's kind of like this really nice indigo that feels like almost like a blue jean. It's very thick and it's very warm, and it has been with me through some of the colder times of 2020. So I'm very excited about it.
Got those healing vibes with that indigo.
That's right.
Looks great with just about everything. Hoops, no hoops, jeans.
There you go.
Can dress it up if you want. Who says you can't dress up a hoodie? Don't let people lie to you, okay? You know what's up. All right. One more donation, y'all. I'm waiting. I'm doing the refresh. And yes, you are right, Eva. In the meantime, you need to know where to donate. Yes. So let's remind you, you got to text ET50 to 71777. That is 71777. Those would be the magic digits to get yourself this beautiful El Tecolote hoodie. One of a kind. You could rep your neighborhood, rep your favorite El Tecolote newspaper, support a good cause. I mean, we're just trying to do all the things on the checklist.
And keep checking with us because we're going to also be dropping some other really cool merch this year. So that will also include these hoodies.
Can we give any hints as to what is to come?
It might have some Radio Teco influence on there. We might, of course,
we got
that new upcoming podcast. We might got some Black and Orange Acción Latina coming at you guys.
Oh,
we might
those are always in high demand.
That's true too. Those fly off the shelf. We also might have some really cool stuff in women's cuts and women's sizes, and also something muy bonito de color de rosa that I think you had something, some design input into. So
yes. You know how like for the Warriors and the Giants, you always got your nice pink shirt that also has the logo of your favorite team, but it's also in your favorite colors. I mean, I'm a fan of the color pink. So again, you're welcome, y'all, if that's something that you were thinking about. All right, and while we're waiting for our third donation to come through, I also just want to let you know another cool way to know about when we're dropping new merch, when we've got new musicians that we want to introduce you to, and we want to make sure that you stay informed with the bilingual news. We want to just remind you that one way to be able to stay up to date with all of this great information is to simply log on to eltecolote.org and subscribe to our newsletter. That's where you're going to find all the facts and all the information that you and your family need. And not to be biased or anything, but this is the best bilingual newspaper in the American Southwest. So you just let your friends know. All
That's
right.
true.
So
That's true. Do we get somebody?
let's see. Yes, I got Mr. Oh, see, now y'all are competing. I told you, don't wait. So the third one I saw come in. Dang, it was a tie right at 7:32. You guys. All right. Well, what do you think, Josue? Should we?
They might have to Rochambeau. You know what? Let's go ahead and get why choose. I'm of the orientation of why choose. Let's name them both and get them some hoodies.
All right. We're gonna keep the peace. Don't make you have to throw down for it here. Oh, all right.
Or
All right, I'm gonna
Rochambeau
go.
or something.
See, I'm seeing more come in now, but I'm gonna go with the two people who came in at 7:32. That would be Mr. Marcelo Aviles and Mr. Armando Vasquez. Thank you so much.
Gracias, Marcelo. Gracias, Armando. Armando is a good friend, and I just appreciate Armando's input. A great friend and a great collaborator. Gracias, Marcelo, también.
Yes.
Sure, you let us know your sizes, and we'll make sure y'all get these really beautiful warm garments.
Yes. I also just want to give a special shout out to Mr. David de la Torre, Acción Latina's board member, who also made a contribution, and your family. So we'll make sure we talk to you and see what we can do to make sure you're all geared up.
Speaking of family, El Tecolote is like family. This is very much a family affair, and it really does feel like home. So once all this is done, please come and check us out and check out our space. We would be remiss not to let y'all know we have an amazing art gallery named after the living artist Juan R. Fuentes.
But designed a lot of these posters, by the way, that we're seeing
that's actually
in
true.
the background.
So some of the art that you see here is designed by the very much living artist that's continuing to make amazing work, Juan R. Fuentes. Check him out. And in lieu of sometimes checking out some of our art shows, you can actually get El Tecolote delivered right to your house. So you guys can go to eltecolote.org and subscribe. That's one way to stay connected. Also, I know that 2020 is a new year, new you, new year, new me, new y'all. And people are off wanting to start, new businesses, new ventures, new labels, new whatever it is. A great way to put your name out there is to advertise with El Tecolote. So consider doing your business and yourself a favor, but also supporting El Tecolote. This is what I'm talking about is a win-win. If you advertise with El Tecolote, you support your cause, you support our cause. Everyone's winning, nobody's losing. Consider advertising with us. So you can also inquire about that at www.eltecolote.org. So I know whether it's a clothes label, whether it's a record label, whether it's your grandma's tamales that you guys are selling, hit us up and you can advertise with El Tecolote. So
that's right. And can I just say one quick thing about that too? Because you may know that you can promote your business through the advertising in our print version of El Tecolote. Yes, you can still do that. We got the full page, we got the half page, the quarter page, the eighth of the page, whatever you need, we got you. You want to do a bundle, we could set that up nicely too. You could set it up for a few months. Excellent, you'd be all good to go. But also, you got the option to do digital ads on El Tecolote's revamped website. You also have the option to be able, this is new, you guys, with a Radio Teco podcast that we're going to be launching in 2021. But now we can cover your audio needs too. So if you want to do an audio advertisement, just like you would for the radio, talk to us. We can see what we can do. You can either record the message yourself. We can work with you to see if you want some assistance with that messaging. We can make it happen. So again, just think about us if you want some promotion for these new ventures you're launching, for your legacy businesses that you have too.
Yep. So again, a win-win. And we are absolutely excited to continue to serve our comunidad in this way.
Yeah, and if you're wondering how to actually reach out to us for all of these ads, we're going to go ahead and drop the information into our Facebook comments as well, so that you know where you can go. You can also go to eltecolote.org and you can find our information there for advertising as well.
All right. So Fatima, what else do we have?
pues, we've told you about our offerings. I think aside from that, we just want to make sure that we get all of our thank yous in. So this is really special, you guys, because we are like great on time. Para que no digan, we're not, always running late. We are here. We are here for it. We planned. We got all the things, all the content.
I'm all about this, like breaking this myth of Latino time.
Yes.
We are ahead of schedule. We are fast on our feet. We're nimble. We are on time.
We're ahead of our times. Yes.
There you go. That's right.
All right.
That's right.
So we don't want to forget, since we've got the time, and make sure we thank all of the beautiful people who participated in tonight's historic 39th virtual Encuentro del Canto Popular concert. So special thank you to the inspiring testimonials that we listened to from Mr. Enrique Ramirez, Professor John Funabiki, who continues to support El Tecolote too with just amazing student journalists that then get trained at El Tecolote and go on to do amazing things. Also to Don Garcia, who's the current director of the John S. Knight Journalism Fellowships at Stanford University, and also the amazing photographer who served as a photo editor to El Tecolote a few years back, Amanda Lopez, as well. And then also, of course, this was a concert. We had some amazing musical performances tonight. I don't know if it's a little too hard to say. Any favorites of the night, Josue? Y'all can chime in on this conversation too. Drop your comments. Who did you like? What did you like? Any favorite songs? Who do you want to learn about more? If you have any questions about where to find their music, drop your comments in now too. Yeah, share your thoughts. What did you think about the music tonight, Josue?
I'm not really big on choosing, although I do love Choosy. Shout out Choosy and Exile. I don't like choosing, so you send me, you show me the menu, I'm gonna be like, yep. So right now, I love them all. I really love them all because they touch a different thing. They touch me in different ways. So big shout out to the musiquex, los músicos, las músicas that really gave us their art and this beautiful gift of music for our 39th Encuentro del Canto Popular. So TRUpeople, I see y'all. I'm so excited, y'all. There's so much power there, so much potential, so much continuing like amazing voices, lyrical artistry. They got it all. Beautiful lyrics, beautiful content, and then delivered, boom, like brought right to you. So thank you. Of course, La Muchacha. My gosh.
Such a beautiful voice, so powerful. And really, I think what I was so impressed by with her voice too is that it's so much, I think in that line of Nueva Canción and Canción de Autor y Autora too, almost reminds me of like, one of the greats like Silvio Rodriguez, because she's giving you these like powerful lyrics, but it's like this beautiful melody that's like soft, but it's like fire and powerful, and you really got to pay attention to like catch all the references. So just beautiful. Amazing. Again, special thank you to Alberto from Del Corazón Music for connecting us and putting us on to La Muchacha. We hope that you all enjoyed her performance and now want to follow her and stay tuned for that album drop too.
Yeah, I'm definitely a la expectativa. I will be waiting for that most definitely. So also a truly international encuentro.
Yeah,
we're no strangers to, but with this virtual scape, being able to make that happen, and so big shout out.
I was just thinking about that because as we did the interviews with Monty for all of the different amazing folks who shared their testimonio with us, I also got a chance to look into El Tecolote's archives and look up a little bit more of Encuentro history, and we had some. You kind of shouted out some of the amazing artists that we have featured over the 39 years of Encuentro. And I was just thinking, can you imagine what our organizers would have been able to do with like Zoom, live streaming to Facebook, all the musicians that we could have featured? Like they put in all the work of getting all of the international visas to happen, bringing in musicians from Cuba, Argentina, Chile, Centro America, which is amazing, obviously, to be able to listen to them live. But we have so many, tools at our disposal now, and really like it's just this way to be able to kind of eliminate esas fronteras and those borders, to really be able to just tune in and reach out to all of these international powerful musicians that then we get to bring to you live in this format. So just want to acknowledge that these are some amazing times that we're living in.
Yeah, that's incredible. And also it just shrinks the space, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Especially right now, makes us feel a little bit closer, even though obviously we still can't really do that too much, but we're finding the ways and the creative solutions to still be able to connect.
Yeah, so I'm definitely grateful for that. And of course, to answer your question, La Marisoul,
Yeah.
my gosh, when she did, Cambia Todo Cambia, that's just one of the ones, hits me right in the heart every time. And definitely, I sing that one when I'm painting or, when I'm, alone in the car. That's one of those, it's just one of those. So
yeah, you were talking about chills. I felt those chills too, the goosebumps when she started with that song. So powerful, so beautiful. And again, I told you guys we were going to have that nostalgia for you, that throwback to situate us as we, continue to add another chapter to this historic and legendary concert.
Yeah. And so I'm just really thrilled. Acción Latina is such an exciting, dynamic team. And I want to give a shout out to the whole team. Of course, the founders, our board members. Yes. Juan Gonzalez, thank you. The vision of what you and the founders started really is strong and continues to be strong. And so I'm just really happy to be able to be a part of it and to be able to witness the power of this team. So thank you. I'm gonna go off script for a second and give a huge shout out and recognition to somebody who, this concert would probably not have had los toquecitos de detalle. Su servidora, who's right here with me, and my co-host Fatima, really ensured that this concert was brought to you in the absolute highest of quality. So a quick recognition and an honor to Fatima for making sure that the 39th annual Encuentro del Canto Popular was an absolute golazo. And so
gracias. Likewise, wouldn't have been the same without my favorite co-host. I think we're getting pretty good at this. We've been able to experiment and reach out to y'all and connect with y'all this year. So just so special to be able to host this with you tonight, Josue.
Un gustazo. So thank you everybody who tuned in. Actually, this thing's still going to be available, so you guys could tune in at your leisure too. So send it to your friends. And if you know some music lovers over there, some art lovers, do share and share it with all your folks. And so as we know, there are no real limits with the internet. So you can continue to enjoy this.
Yes. And also, even if you were here tonight and you're like, man, I just want to listen to that track again, or I want to be able to share this music that I really loved and discovered tonight, you want to share that with a friend, you can also come back, keep watching the video. We'll be here for you. You can find it on the same page, por el mismo canal. And for those of you too that are, still in la tamaleada and eating your panes con pavo, you also tune in when you can. You can continue to make donations whenever you've got the moment to be able to do that. Like Eva was telling us, we are on a mission to continue this 50 for 50 campaign, and that's going to continue in 2021 too. So, you can donate today, mañana, this year, next year. It's still all going to the same cause of being able to keep El Tecolote going another 50 years strong, as well as Acción Latina's programming. So again, I'm just going to say it again real quick. You could text ET50 to 71777 to make that happen.
And I know some people get, it's so hard and so heavy to pick up your phone and you don't want to do all that. You can actually become a recurring member. Ooh, and, sign up and let, un poquito, get taken out of your account every month, and it adds up to a lot of support and a lot of help. So do consider that.
This is true.
If you love community media, if you love cultural arts, if you love what we do, continue to give and continue to check in with us, because we're not going nowhere, y'all. Que viva Acción Latina, que viva el Tecolote, que viva the Juan R. Fuentes Gallery. And for the 39th year, brought to your casa, El Encuentro del Canto Popular. Here's to 39 more and 50 more of El Tecolote and many, many more. Bendiciones a todos, abrazos.
Yes.
And, I'll see y'all on the flippity flip.
Yes. Also, before we go real quick, I also want to just acknowledge the amazing crew that we've had tonight to also bring this concert to all of you and to be able to enjoy it with such quality, making sure those videos were on point, tuning in and logging on and unmuting and turning on their video when they needed to. So special shout out to Mr. Chris Cuadrado, who was our amazing tech producer for this evening. Handling all of the buttons in the background, making it all happen, and also who designed our amazing flyer for this concert as well, all the promotion. Muchas gracias, Chris.
Chris has done Chris has done our graphics for, and also for Paseo Artístico.
Yes.
For
Have a
many,
whole show with
3 or
all
4
the
years at
graphics.
least. So thank you, Chris, for your continued apoyo and belleza que traes con tu arte. Matter of fact, let me show you guys some of these amazing posters. I still have some of these. Go ahead.
Nice. I also want to give a shout out to Monty Rossetti, who made his debut tonight. Y'all got to meet him. He's our new AV editor and one of our co-hosts for Radio Teco podcast. Again, stay tuned for that. He let you know that we already have an audio miniseries that is out where you get to learn about some of our inspiring candidates that ran for office this year. In the midst of it all, they pushed through and they've got some really inspiring stories if you want to check those out. So thank you, Monty, for tuning in and for participating in the concert tonight.
Thank you, Eva.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you to such an incredible team. Thank you, Alexis, for also leading a bunch of those interviews. And folks for being available. Thank you for folks who promoted this event on your social media and who, called La Abuelita and sent it to her and, just made sure that we had a really incredible family event. And so,
yes.
Agradecidos, agradecidas, agradecidex. Corazón lleno.
Yeah. Corazón lleno. Well, ¿será que ya con esto nos despedimos, Josué?
Bueno, en presencia, pero no de espíritu. We're still gonna stay here, but we're gonna let y'all move on to the next thing. And we hope to just stay involved in every way in your lives. And so, seguimos.
Yeah. Seguimos. I hope everyone stays safe. That we're able to get to the end of this year and pa'lante. Here we come, 2021.
Yeah, y'all stay safe. Y'all keep that tapaboca on.
Yes, please. All right. Buenas noches, everybody. Muchas gracias. Y como dicen por ahí, esto lo preparamos con mucho, pero mucho amor. And we're sending this your way too.
Bendiciones.